Welcome to today's view. Today we're going to be talking about stories. So let's begin. Now, I want you to think about a time you saw really good or bad behavior on a kid. Think about this so we can share during class. Now, to go to student book page 38, exercise A. Here we have a narrative article. And what we need to do is to find the introduction, background events, main events, and a conclusion. If you notice, this narrative article is not in order, so we need to organize it. Pause the video while you organize. Okay, so you already know that the first paragraph is, I like to think, generally, that people are honest and that they will always do the right thing. Unfortunately, this is not always the case. Which one is paragraph 2 in your opinion? That's right, you should have this one. I remember one day I was running. What about number 3? I ran across a platform. Very good. In number 4, I looked around for help. So of course the last paragraph, the conclusion is, since then I have often thought about that day. Did you have the same? Great. So if you notice, the first paragraph is the introduction of the story. I'm not telling you the story yet. I'm just giving you like an idea that I want to tell you a story about people being honest, or in this case, that sometimes people are not honest. Then, in my second paragraph, I'm just giving you general information. I'm not telling you the story just yet, but you do know when this happened. On paragraphs 3 and 4, I'm telling you the story, and if you notice, I'm using a lot of simple past here. And of course, our last paragraph is the conclusion, how I feel about it now. That's what we're going to be working on today. Let's continue. So, here I have another story. I need to identify the function of each of the 4 paragraphs and try to identify some of the tenses I used here. Pause the video while you work on this, please. Okay, great. So, if you notice, here I have 4 paragraphs. I have an introduction, then I have background events, then my third paragraph are my main events, the whole story, and of course then I have a conclusion. And we might see many tenses. We have past continuous, we have simple past, we have even present perfect, right? So let's go ahead and continue. So, today we're talking about verbs in narrative writing. So, we use present tense verbs to introduce the article, because here I'm just telling you what the story is going to be about, right? A general idea. I like to think that people are honest. Then, when I tell you about the background events like general information, then it is very common to use continuous tenses, like I was feeling stress, I had been running around. They give you information about what was going on there. Now, for my main events, you will probably use simple past. I threw my bag onto it. The doors slammed shut. And when I want to event links to right now, I will of course use my present perfect. I have often thought about that day. So let's take a look at a practice exercise. So, we're going to work on our student book page 38, exercise B. We need to complete this text using the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Let's go ahead and check. It. Simply good manners to hold doors open for people. What do you think we should use here? That's right, simple present. It is. But not everyone is, so consider it. Very good. Now pause the video and work on the rest, please. Okay, let's go ahead and check. One day, I was going into an office building. I was carrying a big box of paper, which I was delivering to a business. Suddenly, a woman who was walking behind me pushed right in front of me. She opened a heavy glass door and didn't hold it for me. The door slammed in my face, and I fell on the sidewalk. since then, I have always that I hold doors open for people. Did you get it right? Let's go to your workbook, page 24, exercise B. Here we're going to complete this narrative, again, using the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Let's do the first two together. Eat. Safe to assume that flights these days are going to be crowded. Eat is safe. Very good. I usually prepare myself for the worst. Here, if you notice, it's a routine that I have. Now pause the video and work on the rest, please. We're going to check this during our class. Great, let's continue. Now, I need you to work on exercise C as well. Here, we need to correct the mistakes in the narrative. There is one error in each sentence. Pause the video while you work on this, please. Okay, once again, we're going to check this during our class. And now, I want you to think of a fictional character from a movie or a TV show, and a time this character behaved well or he or she behaved poorly. Please write down a few ideas. Okay, great. And now, what type of story would you like to write about? A success story, an adventure story, or a discovery story? If you want, you can pause the video and read the descriptions, but just make sure that you choose a story that is about you. Okay, great. So, now that you thought of a fictional character and you chose a story, I need you to please decide. Are you going to write about a fictional character or a personal story? Okay, now that you chose, what kind of story is it? If you chose the fictional character, is the fictional character behaving well or poorly? And if you chose your personal story, are you going to write about a success that you had, an adventure, or a discovery? And now that you chose this, I want you to list the main events of the story. Try to write at least 6 or 7 events. Pause the video while you work on this, please. Okay, so remember to have this ready so we can write our articles during our class. I will see you then. Bye-bye!